just kind of engineering and working on records for other people, not my own material. You know, I mean, I play, I'm a drummer and all this keyboard player and stuff, but you know, I wasn't playing myself. Recording or, you know, on the road doing, managing, that kind of stuff, I'm the technical, I'm a nerd. So I was doing that for other bands and that kind of thing, but I wasn't at a point that I really was able to do it by myself. And, when me, I started hanging out in the studio, it was, I don't know, we just thought, man, you know, we can do this with just the two of us. Like we talked about earlier, lighting and stuff like that. Even on a very basic level, we could put the two of us in a van and a bunch of gear, and we can make a party happen.
It came down to these drum machines.
Yeah.
You know, that we could build all of our songs on the drum machines and play them back on those drum machines and
be able to meet them. It's definitely, you know, something that has to be thought about, you know, when you're doing a tour and that, you know, that kind of show, the visual, you know. We've stepped away. There was a time where we were controlling lights on stage by ourselves, but we've had to, we moved past that. But it's still, it's a very huge part of the experience when you're trying to, like we are, give somebody a show experience, a total experience. You can kind of get lost in that show and part of it. And, you know, if the lighting is not changing and keeping you, entertained in those moments, it's difficult sometimes to get lost in the music and really kind of become one with that show. You know, there are definitely certain kind of like moods or kind of ideas, concepts.
You gotta set the vibes.
You gotta set this space to happen.
The more you work with the lighting guy, the more you can anticipate where you're going musically and follow suit with the lighting.
Basic element of what we do is mixing. When we first started, it was like we don't want to be a guy pushing buttons. And at the time we first started working, that wasn't as popular as it is now. A guy with a laptop just hitting play, going through a set or whatever.
Right.
We came from the kind of DJ world, and a guy mixing from one track and transitioning. So you're hearing both records play at the same time and you're transitioning over to now this one's playing. The DJ mixing back and forth and working off the crowd and that kind of thing. And BoomBox, this band was going to be kind of an evolution from that, or next, just kind of growing from that world, adding live instruments. But both of us kind of still working as a DJ, with all these different, instruments and elements within that mix. So even when we do move away from the drum machines, we're still, like each night, we transition from song to song. It's like, right now it's from laptop to drum machine, mixing back and forth these layers. And, all I'm going to do is, the drum machines are very difficult to keep working now on the road, and buttons break, and it's older machines, and it's like an antiquated storage media and stuff like that. So transitioning to two computers, but it's still hard mixing between. We're still keeping that element of that old school, like that tension of two machines that are not synced together and are not locked in any way. They don't know that each other exists. When they're playing and they kind of drift with each other, there's a tension there that happens, that DJs have been getting people off by for years.
Yeah.
But in a lot of the modern electronic world, that tension a lot of times is missing in the show part of it, the live manipulation. So that's one element that's really dear to us. We want to keep
taking two software synths and mix them like records. I mean,
this computer hit play, and then hit the computer, and this one listen to headphones and manipulate this one to slow down or speed up.
Which is the way it's done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then we're adding live, instrumentation on top of that,
which is great.
Which that was the
that separates the whole thing.
In our original idea, I had no concept of the possibility that people would be like playing whole sets on their laptop.
Right.
In my mind, you got either you got a record or you got a drum machine that you're going to mix with another record or another drum machine. If you got a drum machine, that means you're going to need a band. But we're still half old school right now live. I mean, we're still busting drum machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to use, old school, elements, you know, a
Right.
little good of everything, of all the technology that's been presented to us to use. You know, like if we'd have been a band in the '60s, it would have been electric guitar.
Whatever
like that.
works.
So
You know,
got
whatever
that
sounds
now
good.
we have these technologies.
Because older road sounds that.
Yeah.
I heard you playing earlier,
Yeah,
like that.
I'm a huge fan of Rhodes and
It's
Worley
really
and all those
cool.
kind of things.
Yeah, of course the Telecaster, you know, clean, nice, flexy sound is awesome. I like that. But it's very neat. I kind of want to hear. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry,
I
man.
couldn't let that one go.
Yeah, don't let
Nothing
it go.
against Telly.